In 2006, my mom, my dad, my brother, and I were on our way back from our Thanksgiving family dinner. While on the way back, we realized that we had forgotten some stuff at the house. So we turned around. We're sitting in the middle median, waiting for traffic to open, and bam, we were hit by a drunk driver, and the car had almost split in two. Now, everybody was safe in this accident, but that's not always the case. I'm going to be explaining why drunk drivers with more than one DUI should not have a license. I've researched information on drinking and driving to explain why I think that drivers with more than one DUI should not have a license. I'm going to be talking about the reputation you acquire from driving under the influence, the expenses that come with it, and the deaths. Now, first I'd like to talk about the reputation one gets after acquiring a DUI. Being charged with a DUI, felony, or misdemeanor will never come off of one's record. That means whenever you're trying to find a job to live more lavish, or have more fun, or make more money, most of the time, those jobs aren't going to hire you. Especially jobs that require driving. There is 0% chance you can get a job that requires driving with a DUI on your record. Insurance companies will see that you're charged with a DUI and claim you as a high-risk driver. High-risk drivers are charged significantly more than normal drivers, and most insurance companies will not even pick up a client that is a high-risk driver. A drunk driver's reputation will be messed up, but so will their bank account. Like I said earlier, if an insurance company is willing to pick you up, the prices are going to be just out of the roof. They're going to skyrocket. Auto insurance prices can double after acquiring a DUI, even without hitting anything, because you are claimed as a high-risk driver. That is very bad. It can take years to make those prices go down, but more than 85% of people with DUIs are going to get another one. Now, the more clear, pricey scenario would be hitting something. A few years ago, my dad told me about a drunk driver that had run into a tech company's front entrance, and broke up to $200,000 worth of equipment. That was computers, PCs, televisions, almost anything you can think that would be in a tech company's office. Now, that $200,000 didn't just go away. This man had to pay it off. And if he didn't, he would go to jail. Now, people underestimate the power of a car. The price that one may have to pay for drinking and driving may not always be money. It could be their own or other lives. Over 10,000 Americans die per year due to drinking and driving. That's almost 28 Americans a day dying because of drinking and driving. There are multiple cases where drivers have hit and killed one or more civilians while under the influence. If you do not care about your own life enough to care about driving impaired and not having to buy a taxi cab, think about the others that you will be affecting. Vehicular manslaughter, it can result in life in prison or death. Now that I have proven my point, I'm just going to sum up what I've told you. Driving under the influence can ruin one's reputation as a person. Once one's reputation is ruined, it's hard to come back in life. Excuse me. Driving drunk can also be very expensive. You could hit somebody else's car. That will make your insurance go through the roof. If you just get pulled over and get a DUI, that's going to make your insurance go up higher. You could run into anything and that is not going to be good for your wallet. Lastly, the life of yourself and others is at risk when you're behind the wheel and impaired. You need to think of other people. If a person is willing to get a DUI once, I'm sure they're going to be willing to try to drive drunk again so they don't have to buy a taxi cab. That's why I think they should get their license revoked or taken after having one or more DUIs. And if I had to say one thing about this whole topic, is that you just need to buy an Uber.